In the year 2200, humanity had reached the stars driven by an insatiable curiosity and the desire for expansion. After centuries of technological evolution, Earth had established colonies on Mars and the moons of Jupiter. Yet even with these achievements, the vastness of space held secrets that beckoned to be uncovered. During a routine mining operation in the asteroid belt, a crew of miners aboard the ship Elysium made a startling discovery. As they navigated through the dense field of rocks, a glimmer caught the eye of Captain Elena Voss. Intrigued, she ordered the crew to investigate the anomaly hidden among the asteroids. As they drew closer, the miners found an enormous metallic structure buried within a cluster of asteroids. Its surface was etched with intricate patterns and symbols that seemed to pulse with a faint luminescence. Realizing they had stumbled upon something monumental, the crew transmitted their findings back to Earth. A research team was quickly assembled to analyze the discovery. Back on Earth, scientists gathered in the sleek white conference room of the United Earth Space Agency. Jeremiah Chen, a leading xenobiologist, examined the first images of the relic projected onto the holoscreen. Her eyes widened as she recognized the ancient alien script believed to belong to a long-lost civilization. She knew that if they could decipher the text, the implications for humanity could be staggering. Days turned into weeks as the team worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the relic. After a grueling analysis, they finally activated its central core and were met with a cascade of data. Holographic blueprints materialized before them, showcasing designs for starship technology that seemed impossible. The ships were equipped with energy shields capable of deflecting even the most potent weaponry and propulsion systems that surpassed light speed. As the implications of their discovery settled in, the room buzzed with excitement. Chen spoke first, breaking the reverent silence to suggest they could use the blueprints to construct a fleet. The idea electrified the room as each scientist began to envision the possibilities of an advanced human fleet. Back in the asteroid belt, the crew of the Elysium received word of their discovery's potential. With the directive to begin construction on the new ships, the miners turned their mining vessel into a makeshift shipyard. They gathered materials from nearby asteroids while relaying continuous updates to Earth. Months passed as Earth mobilized its resources toward this ambitious project. Construction facilities were erected at the lunar base, and engineers collaborated with scientists to design the ships. Every nation on Earth contributed their best minds to the effort, realizing that this was not just a scientific breakthrough, but a chance to redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. Meanwhile, the Elysium crew made surprising discoveries of their own. They found an ancient AI embedded within the relic that had been dormant for millennia. As they activated it, the AI introduced itself as Zephyr, a sentient being designed to aid its creators in mastering the stars. With Zephyr's guidance, the crew learned how to interpret the ship designs and harness the relic's advanced technology. The AI became an invaluable asset and a bridge between humanity and the knowledge of an ancient civilization. Together, they pushed the boundaries of what was possible, breathing life into the dreams of interstellar travel. As Earth witnessed the progress and potential of the new fleet, a mix of hope and apprehension took hold. Humanity stood on the precipice of an unknown future, ready to challenge the stars and whatever might come their way. Little did they know that their advancements would soon attract the attention of the Galactic Alliance. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the course of history forever. As construction of the new fleet accelerated, Earth transformed into a hub of innovation and collaboration. Nations united under a common banner as the project became a symbol of human potential and resilience. The lunar base teemed with activity as engineers and scientists worked around the clock to bring the designs to life. The first starship, dubbed Pioneer, rolled off the assembly line, a sleek vessel brimming with advanced technology. It featured the cutting-edge energy shields and a propulsion system designed to traverse vast distances in mere moments. As the crew prepared for the maiden voyage, excitement mingled with apprehension about what lay ahead. Captain Elena Voss was chosen to lead the Pioneer on its inaugural journey. With a mix of seasoned officers and eager young pilots, she felt the weight of their expectations on her shoulders. They were not just embarking on a test flight, but stepping into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. Before departure, a global broadcast captivated millions as the unveiling of the Pioneer symbolized humanity's leap into the stars. Elena delivered a stirring speech about unity exploration and the indomitable spirit of humankind. Her words resonated across continents, instilling a sense of pride and anticipation. As the countdown commenced, the crew took their positions aboard the sleek vessel. With a roar, the Pioneer launched into the sky, leaving behind the familiar blue of Earth. The view from the bridge was breathtaking as the ship soared past the atmosphere, revealing the endless expanse of space. Once they reached the designated coordinates, Elena initiated the first test of the ship's capabilities. The crew marveled as the propulsion system engaged, propelling them forward at an astonishing speed. It was a sensation unlike anything they had experienced, a surge of exhilaration coursing through the ship. But amid the excitement, a shadow loomed on the horizon. The Galactic Alliance had long monitored Earth's advancements, and their interest had shifted to concern. The Council of the Alliance convened to discuss the implications of humanity's sudden leap in technology. A representative from the Alliance, an alien known as Vorik, addressed the Council with a stern demeanor. He cautioned against underestimating the potential threat posed by humanity's newfound capabilities. The Council debated sending a diplomatic envoy to Earth to warn them of the dangers inherent in their path. Back on the Pioneer, the crew celebrated their successful tests. Elena couldn't shake a feeling of unease, but her team reassured her that they were prepared for any challenges. They began strategizing on how to utilize their new capabilities for exploration rather than conflict. Meanwhile, Zephyr, the ancient AI, continued to assist in refining the ship's systems. Its knowledge proved invaluable as it guided the crew through simulations and training scenarios. Under its tutelage, the crew learned advanced maneuvers that would prepare them for encounters with unknown forces. As weeks passed, more ships joined the fleet, each equipped with cutting-edge technology and the same spirit of exploration. The world watched in awe as the fleet expanded, becoming a testament to humanity's determination and ingenuity. But the clock was ticking and tensions were rising as the Galactic Alliance weighed their options. Unbeknownst to Earth, the Council had reached a decision. They would send a diplomatic envoy to convey their concerns and urge humanity to reconsider their path. But the Council's intentions were far from benevolent, as factions within plotted to eliminate the perceived threat before it could grow. As the fleet prepared for its next mission, the warning bells began to toll. Humanity stood on the brink of greatness, but they were unaware of the storm that was gathering just beyond the stars. The stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge the very essence of what it meant to be human in a vast and often hostile universe. As the Pioneer and its sister ships continued their training maneuvers, Earth was abuzz with excitement and anticipation. The global unity inspired by the fleet was palpable, yet beneath the surface lay a current of unease. The Galactic Alliance watched closely, their concerns growing with each successful test of humanity's new technology. In the grand chambers of the Galactic Alliance Council, a heated debate erupted. Vorik stood before his peers, presenting a comprehensive analysis of humanity's capabilities and potential threats. His voice echoed through the room, a blend of caution and urgency that demanded attention. Humanity possesses a unique drive to expand and conquer, Vorik warned. If left unchecked, they could destabilize the entire sector and pose a danger to our civilization. His words hung heavily in the air, sparking tension among the council members. A representative from the Tarquari species, a reptilian being named Zarlok, disagreed. Should we not consider the possibility of cooperation instead of hostility, he suggested. Their advancements may enhance our collective strength rather than threaten it. But Vorik was unyielding, insisting that humanity's rapid progress required immediate action. After prolonged discussions, the Council resolved to send a diplomatic envoy to Earth. They hoped to convey their concerns and propose a set of regulations to govern humanity's exploration. Meanwhile, on Earth, excitement reached new heights as the fleet prepared for its first official mission. The Pioneer and its sister ships would venture into nearby star systems to gather data and explore uncharted territories. Captain Alina Voss addressed her crew, reminding them of their purpose to explore and expand humanity's knowledge of the universe. As the fleet set off into the cosmos, each ship brimming with optimism, little did they know of the impending danger. The diplomatic envoy, comprised of several alien representatives, including Vorik and Zarlok, departed for Earth. Their ship traveled at impressive speeds, traversing the galaxy with a singular mission. Upon arriving in Earth's orbit, the envoy sent a communication request. The leaders of Earth gathered in a virtual summit to address the unexpected visitors. A sense of tension permeated the meeting room as the representatives prepared for a potentially volatile discussion. Vorik initiated the dialogue, presenting the Galactic Alliance's concerns about humanity's advancements. "Your achievements are commendable," he began, "but they bring with them significant risks that must be addressed." He laid out the potential dangers, highlighting the threat of interstellar conflict if humanity pursued unchecked expansion. Alina Voss listened intently, her resolve hardening as Vorik spoke. While she understood the importance of their warnings, she sensed an underlying current of fear among the Alliance members. It was clear that they underestimated humanity's potential for diplomacy and cooperation. "While we appreciate your concern," Alina responded firmly, "we believe our journey is one of exploration, not conquest." The room fell silent as she continued, "We seek to learn from the universe and form alliances, not create enemies." Her words resonated with many on the Earth side as they shared a vision of peaceful coexistence. Vorik remained skeptical, but Zarlok interjected with a more conciliatory tone. "Perhaps there is a path to mutual understanding." He proposed a joint exploration initiative could benefit both our civilizations. His suggestion hung in the air, offering a glimmer of hope amid the tension. However, Vorik's eyes narrowed as he weighed the implications of such a partnership. Humanity must adhere to certain protocols to ensure the safety of the Alliance and our members, he insisted. The conversation began to spiral as the representatives debated the terms of potential cooperation. As the discussions progressed, a sense of urgency mounted. The envoy's presence had drawn attention from factions within the Galactic Alliance that were less inclined toward diplomacy. Whispers of a preemptive strike began to circulate among the more aggressive members, fueled by fear and mistrust. Back on Earth, the fleet awaited news of the summit with bated breath. The stakes were rising as tensions between humanity and the Galactic Alliance threatened to escalate into open conflict. As Captain Alina Voss prepared her crew for the unknown, she knew the next steps would determine humanity's fate in the cosmos. The atmosphere on Earth was thick with anticipation as the diplomatic summit unfolded in orbit. As representatives debated humanity's future, a growing tension brewed beneath the surface of the Galactic Alliance. While some sought peace, others grew restless, fearing that humanity's newfound power could tip the balance of interstellar relations. Captain Alina Voss remained on high alert aboard the Pioneer. The fleet stood ready for any outcome from the negotiations, but her instincts told her they might soon face a real challenge. The crew busied themselves with drills and preparations, ensuring that they were primed for whatever lay ahead. Back in the council chambers, Vorik pressed for strict limitations on humanity's exploratory missions. "Without oversight, your fleet poses a threat to our collective safety," he argued. As the debates intensified, Zarlok's voice emerged as a calming presence, advocating for understanding and cooperation. "Let us not forget the potential benefits of working together," Zarlok said. "If we share knowledge and resources, we can create a partnership that enhances our mutual safety." His perspective began to sway a few members, but Vorik remained adamant, determined to impose restrictions. In a calculated move to demonstrate their capabilities and quell the fears of the Alliance, Alina proposed a joint demonstration. "Allow us to showcase the Pioneer and our fleet's abilities in a controlled environment," she suggested. "This will prove our intent and provide assurance that we seek exploration, not conflict." After some deliberation, Vorik agreed to the proposal, but with conditions. The demonstration would be closely monitored, and any show of aggression would be met with immediate retaliation. Both sides understood the stakes. The eyes of the galaxy were upon them. As the day of the demonstration approached, the Pioneer and its fleet gathered in a designated area of space. The crew prepared meticulously for the event, with Elena leading training exercises designed to showcase their technology and tactical prowess. Word of the event spread quickly, drawing spectators from various corners of the galaxy eager to witness the human fleet in action. When the day finally arrived, a sense of electric energy coursed through the ships. Elena stood at the helm of the Pioneer alongside her trusted officers as the audience of alien ships assembled nearby. The sight of diverse vessels filled with curious eyes underscored the momentous occasion. "Today we show them who we are," Elena declared to her crew. "Let's make our intentions clear through our actions." As the countdown began, she felt a mix of excitement and anxiety, but her focus remained unwavering. With a roar, the Pioneer surged forward, engaging its advanced propulsion systems. The crew maneuvered the ship through intricate formations, demonstrating their agility and speed. Holographic projections showcased the ship's capabilities as they executed sharp turns and sudden stops, leaving trails of shimmering light. The other ships watched in awe as the fleet moved in synchrony, demonstrating precision and strength. Elena felt a surge of pride as she commanded her crew effortlessly. Every display of power was matched with a clear signal of their desire for peace. But just as they reached the climax of the demonstration, a flicker of movement caught Elena's attention. In the distance, an unmarked alien ship emerged from the shadows, its intentions unclear. Vorek's eyes widened as alarms rang out across the Alliance vessels. Before Elena could react, the alien ship opened fire, targeting the Pioneer. With reflexes honed by training, she ordered evasive maneuvers as the crew scrambled to respond. The display had turned from a show of strength into a fight for survival. Elena's heart raced as she barked commands, the crew reacting with remarkable cohesion. Energy shields flared to life, absorbing the impact of incoming blasts. The once peaceful demonstration had devolved into chaos, and she needed to regain control. "Return fire," she commanded, her voice steady amidst the turmoil. The crew retaliated with precision, their weapons lighting up the void of space. As the fight unfolded, the stakes escalated further, threatening to engulf the fledgling fleet in an all-out battle. Humanity's resolve was about to be tested as they fought not just for their survival, but for the future of their place among the stars. In that moment, it was clear this confrontation would shape the destiny of both humanity and the Galactic Alliance. The struggle had just begun, and the consequences would echo through the galaxy for years to come. The chaos of the battlefield erupted around the Pioneer as the crew scrambled to respond to the unexpected attack. Elena Voss stood resolute at the helm, directing her team with precision, while their enemies unleashed a relentless barrage. The air was thick with tension as the bright flashes of energy weapons illuminated the dark void of space. "Reinforce the shields," Elena commanded, her voice cutting through the din of alarms and frantic chatter. The crew worked in unison, their training kicking in as they focused on their respective duties. Every officer knew that the survival of their ship and the fledgling fleet rested on their shoulders. As the enemy ship continued its assault, the Pioneer darted and weaved, dodging incoming fire. The crew executed a series of evasive maneuvers that showcased their training and the ship's capabilities. Elena felt a surge of pride as they maneuvered with unparalleled agility, demonstrating humanity's resourcefulness. "Return fire on my mark," she instructed her tactical officer, Lieutenant Ramirez. With a nod, Ramirez prepared the ship's weapons, locking onto the enemy vessel. "Ready when you are, Captain," he replied, his voice steady despite the chaos surrounding them. The enemy ship was sleek and menacing, with an advanced design that suggested a well-equipped adversary. Vorek and the other representatives from the Galactic Alliance watched in shock as the conflict unfolded before their eyes. They had come to witness a show of strength, but were now participants in a battle that threatened to spiral out of control. "Why are they attacking?" Zarlok exclaimed, disbelief written across his reptilian features. "We must intervene," Vorek replied, his tone urgent as he weighed the implications of the situation. The council members were torn between their desire to protect humanity and the fear of escalating the conflict. Meanwhile, aboard the Pioneer, Elena felt the weight of every decision pressing down on her. Now, she commanded, raising her hand as she glanced at the enemy ship's trajectory. Fire. The Pioneer unleashed a volley of energy blasts, striking the enemy ship with pinpoint accuracy. The return fire hit the target, causing sparks and debris to fly as the alien ship staggered under the assault. Elena felt a rush of adrenaline as they successfully pushed back their aggressor. But the enemy was resilient and quickly recalibrated their targeting systems, launching a counterattack. Incoming projectiles streaked toward the Pioneer, and Elena's heart raced as she barked orders. Activate the aft shields and prepare for a sharp turn. The crew executed the maneuver flawlessly as the ship twisted away from the incoming fire. The Pioneer became a blur darting through space with precision, while the crew focused on maintaining cohesion. As the chaos unfolded, Elena realized that the enemy was not merely a rogue ship, but a serious threat to their mission. Just then, Vorek's voice crackled through the comm system. "Humanity, you must cease fire at once," he ordered, urgency threading through his words. "We cannot allow this conflict to escalate." Elena hesitated, feeling torn between their defensive needs and the desire for diplomatic resolution. "Vorek, we're under attack," she responded, her voice firm. "If we stop now, they will obliterate us." Zarluk's voice joined the fray, a calmer tone emerging amidst the chaos. "Captain Voss, you have the right to defend yourselves," he said. "But if you can establish communication, it may help de-escalate the situation." Elena considered the options as her crew fought valiantly to keep the Pioneer operational. "Lieutenant Ramirez, send a transmission to the enemy ship," she commanded. "Let them know we are willing to negotiate." As the crew worked to establish communication, the enemy ship launched another barrage. The Pioneer's shields flared as the crew struggled to maintain their defensive stance. Elena felt the pressure mounting as the two ships faced off, their fates intertwined in a precarious dance. "Transmission is ready," Captain Ramirez reported, his eyes darting between the control panel and the view screen. "Send it," she ordered, her heart racing as she braced for the unknown response. The message echoed through space. "This is Captain Elena Voss of the Pioneer. We do not wish for conflict. We are explorers and wish to discuss our intentions peacefully." As the words reverberated through the void, they awaited the enemy's response. The fate of humanity hung in the balance as the tensions thickened. What would the enemy choose, fight or talk? The silence that followed Elena's transmission felt heavy, almost suffocating, as both ships remained poised for action. The crew of the Pioneer held their breath, eyes fixed on the view screen, waiting for any sign of response from the enemy. Elena could sense the anxiety radiating from her crew. They were ready to defend their ship, but hoped for an opportunity to avert further conflict. Moments stretched into what felt like an eternity until finally, the enemy ship's communication system flickered to life. A distorted voice crackled through the static, laden with skepticism. "Humanity, your words are of little comfort. You have weapons and a fleet. Why should we believe you?" Elena leaned forward, her resolve hardening. "We are explorers, not conquerors. Our fleet is here to learn and forge alliances. We seek knowledge, not war." She felt the weight of her words as they echoed across the void, a plea for understanding amidst a backdrop of tension. "Enough of this," shouted the voice, the tone dripping with disdain. "Your species has already proven it is willing to fight. Why should we trust you?" The threat was palpable, but Elena was determined to turn the tide. "Because we can show you our intentions," she replied, her voice steady. "If you let us, we will demonstrate that humanity seeks cooperation. Our fleet can help expand your knowledge as well." As the enemy ship hesitated, Elena sensed an opportunity. "Vorak, Zarluk, if you can provide any support to convince them, I would greatly appreciate it." The representatives exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of concern and hope. Vorak finally spoke, his voice carrying authority. "Trust us. We have witnessed humanity's capabilities. We believe you are more than what we feared." The tension hung in the air as both ships awaited the enemy's decision. A moment later, the voice returned, now tinged with uncertainty. "Very well, Captain Voss. We will give you a chance to prove your claims." Alina's heart raced as she realized they had a sliver of hope. Now was the time to act. "Thank you. We will initiate a display of our technology and capabilities. Together," she proposed. "Let's show you what we can achieve as partners." The enemy ship's hesitation indicated a willingness to hear more. As the two ships prepared to coordinate a demonstration, the Pioneer and the enemy vessel moved into position. Alina took a deep breath, her crew's faith resting in her hands. "Let's show them our strengths, both in technology and in cooperation," she instructed. With a flick of her wrist, she initiated a series of maneuvers designed to illustrate their tactical prowess. The Pioneer soared through the void, executing sharp turns and synchronized movements. The crew of the enemy ship watched in awe as the display unfolded before them. As they navigated complex formations, Alina felt a surge of pride. The beauty of their flight was not just in the technology, but in the teamwork and spirit of cooperation. In that moment, she envisioned a future where their skills could be combined for the greater good. "Now it's your turn," Alina urged. The enemy ship hesitated before slowly responding with its own impressive maneuvers. It glided through space with grace, demonstrating a level of sophistication that matched the Pioneer. As they showcased their capabilities, both ships began to communicate in real time, exchanging tactics and strategies. Alina felt the tension dissolve slowly as they found common ground in their shared experiences as explorers. A connection was forming, a bridge of understanding that could reshape the future of both species. But the shadows of the Galactic Alliance still loomed large. Vorak and Zarlok exchanged glances, sensing that the mood had shifted. Though they were relieved by the display of cooperation, they knew their own factions were still contemplating a harsher response. Meanwhile, the enemy ship's captain turned his attention back to the Pioneer. "You have demonstrated your capabilities and intentions. Perhaps there is more to humanity than we initially thought." His words were measured, yet the shift in tone marked a crucial turning point in their relationship. As the demonstration concluded, both ships floated in a newfound atmosphere of cautious optimism. Alina felt a spark of hope flicker within her, a belief that perhaps, just perhaps, they could forge an alliance that transcended the fears of the past. But looming above them were the unresolved tensions with the Galactic Alliance, and the real challenge was only just beginning. As the Pioneer and the enemy vessel floated in a cautious truce, the mood shifted from hostility to tentative cooperation. Alina Voss felt a glimmer of hope, but deep down, she knew that the real battle was far from over. The Galactic Alliance still loomed in the background, and factions within were increasingly restless about humanity's growing power. Back in the Alliance Council chambers, Vorak paced anxiously, his mind racing with the implications of the ongoing developments. Zarlok remained at his side, observing the shifting dynamics with keen interest. "We must support Captain Voss and her crew," Zarlok urged. "If we fail to back them now, we risk losing an opportunity for unity." Vorak nodded, but could not shake his unease. "Yet, we cannot ignore those who see humanity as a threat. Some of our members advocate for a preemptive strike." The tension within the council was palpable, with opinions split between those who favored cooperation and those who demanded action. Meanwhile, aboard the Pioneer, Alina gathered her crew to discuss the recent developments. "Today, we made significant strides towards understanding," she said, her voice steady as she addressed her team. "But we must remain vigilant. The Alliance is not fully on our side yet." Lieutenant Ramirez spoke up, his brow furrowed with concern. "What if they decide to attack anyway? We're not fully prepared for another fight." Alina acknowledged the truth in his words. Their current display of strength had merely postponed the threat, not eliminated it. "Let's use this opportunity to forge alliances wherever we can," Alina replied. "If we can reach out to sympathetic factions within the Alliance, we may find allies to help us navigate this storm." The crew nodded, their expressions a mix of determination and fear. Just then, an urgent message pinged through the comms system. "Captain Voss, "We're receiving a distress signal from one of the Alliance's scouting ships in the nearby sector," reported Ensign Taylor. "Shall we respond?" Elena felt a surge of instinctual duty. "Yes, we must," she replied without hesitation. "Let's see if we can help them. It may earn us goodwill with the Alliance." The Pioneer adjusted course, speeding toward the location of the distressed ship. As they arrived, the crew quickly assessed the situation. A small Alliance vessel was under attack by a band of marauders. "Prepare for engagement," Elena ordered, her heart racing as they prepared to intervene. With deft maneuvering, the Pioneer entered the fray, using its advanced weaponry to draw fire from the beleaguered ship. Elena felt the adrenaline coursing through her veins as she directed her crew. "Target the marauders' weapon systems. Let's disable them without causing unnecessary damage." The crew executed the plan flawlessly, coordinating strikes that dismantled the marauders' firepower. In moments, the tide of battle turned, and the enemy vessels began to retreat, realizing they were outmatched. As the last of the marauders fled, the Alliance ship sent a transmission expressing gratitude. "Thank you, Pioneer. You've saved us," said the captain of the scouting ship, relief evident in their voice. This act of courage had not gone unnoticed. Vorik and Zarlok monitored the developments with renewed hope. "Perhaps this is the turning point we needed," Zarlok said, a glimmer of optimism in his reptilian eyes. But even as they celebrated this victory, the shadows of dissent within the Galactic Alliance grew darker. Vorik received reports of factions mobilizing against humanity, convinced that the growing fleet was a threat. "This is just the beginning," he murmured to Zarlok. "We must act quickly to protect them." Back aboard the Pioneer, Elena and her crew were buoyed by their successful mission, unaware of the brewing storm. They set their sights on building alliances among the stars, hoping to bridge the gap between their world and the vast unknown. But as whispers of impending conflict circulated, it became clear that their unity would be tested in ways they had not anticipated. The fight for their place in the galaxy was only beginning, and the choices they made now would determine not just their future, but that of humanity itself. With tensions rising and threats multiplying, Elena steeled herself for the battles ahead, knowing that unity would demand sacrifice from all involved. It was a pivotal moment that would shape the course of history and redefine humanity's role in the cosmos. The atmosphere aboard the Pioneer shifted as news of their successful rescue spread throughout the fleet. Elena Voss felt a renewed sense of purpose among her crew as they prepared for the next phase of their mission. But even as they celebrated their achievements, the looming threat from dissenting factions within the Galactic Alliance weighed heavily on her mind. Vorik and Zarlok reached out to Elena with a proposal to convene a summit with the sympathetic factions of the Alliance. "We must demonstrate the potential of collaboration," Vorik urged, "and counter the voices of dissent with evidence of humanity's goodwill." Elena knew this was a pivotal moment. They needed to act quickly before the situation spiraled out of control. In the days that followed, the Pioneer and its fleet navigated through the stars, gathering support and forging alliances. Elena met with various representatives, sharing their vision for exploration and cooperation, showcasing the power of unity over conflict. Each encounter revealed both allies and adversaries, but Elena remained focused on building a coalition that could stand against those who would see humanity harmed. As the summit date approached, tension within the Galactic Alliance continued to rise. Vorik and Zarlok worked tirelessly to quell the fears of the more aggressive factions, emphasizing the importance of peace. "We must come together to face the greater threats beyond our borders," Zarlok urged, his voice echoing in the council chambers. On the day of the summit, representatives from across the galaxy gathered in a massive space station, an opulent structure that symbolized unity and cooperation. Elena stood at the forefront, flanked by Vorik and Zarlok as they prepared to address the assembly. As she took her place at the podium, she felt the weight of the moment pressing upon her. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Alliance," she began, her voice steady yet passionate. "Today we stand on the brink of a new era, one where our differences can be our strengths. She recounted their journey, the trials they faced, and the alliances they forged, emphasizing humanity's commitment to peace and exploration. But even as she spoke, dissenting voices rose from the back of the chamber. A faction of hardliners led by a fierce leader named Trakith interrupted her, insisting that humanity was a threat that must be contained. "Your very existence poses a danger," Trakith declared, "and we will not sit idly by as you build your fleet." Vorak stepped forward, his voice booming with authority. "Your fears are unfounded. Look at what we have achieved together. We have saved lives and offered cooperation." The room buzzed with tension as the two sides clashed, the chasm between them widening. In that moment, Alina realized that the path forward would require more than words. It would demand bold action. "If you believe in the strength of our alliances, let us prove it," she said, her voice ringing with conviction. "Let us embark on a joint mission to confront a common enemy." The room fell silent as her proposal lingered in the air. Vorak exchanged glances with Zarlok, sensing the shift in mood among the assembly. Finally, Zarlok spoke, his voice calm yet firm. "We have seen the power of unity. Let us demonstrate it through our actions." Slowly, murmurs of agreement began to ripple through the crowd. Alina's heart raced as she realized they were turning the tide. "Together, we can face the threats that loom beyond our borders," she urged, her passion igniting hope in the hearts of those present. As the assembly voted, the decision hung in the balance. Would they choose to stand together or let fear divide them? The votes were cast, and one by one, the representatives chose unity. With a resounding majority, the alliance authorized a joint mission to confront the marauding factions threatening peace. Alina felt a rush of triumph as cheers erupted in the chamber. They had succeeded in forging a path toward cooperation, one that could reshape the future of the galaxy. As the meeting adjourned, she turned to Vorak and Zarlok, gratitude evident in her eyes. "We did it. Together, we've built a foundation for a better future." As the pioneer prepared for the mission ahead, Alina looked out into the stars. Humanity's place among them was no longer uncertain. It was a journey just beginning. With allies at their side and a shared vision guiding them, they would face whatever challenges awaited them, united as one. This was their new dawn, and it shone brighter than ever before.